girls, welcome back to my channel. Alright guys, so for today's look I decided to use my new palette, my Pricked palette by Jeffree. Whenever Jeffree posted a picture of this palette on his Instagram, I lost it. Like, I didn't even have to see the inside. I just saw the outside and the fact that it's like a little purse. Like, are you kidding me? That's so freaking cute. I just needed to get it. So I was like, you know what? I already knew he was doing something. You know, he was being a little sus. He wasn't posting a lot, so I knew he was gonna do something for the fall. I just know Jeffree. You already know Jeffree. He always got something up his sleeve. So I was like, you know what? This is such a cute fall palette. Mind you, I don't even know how the colors look, but I just knew it was gonna be a nice fall palette. So I was like, I definitely want some palettes for the fall and the winter, you know, so I could just give you guys like warm, cozy shades. And the shades inside are literally what I wanted, like something warm, but you know, you still have some bright oranges, you have some glitters, you know. Jeffree will always have his glitters, his shimmers. He will have that in every palette. One of my favorite shades from this is the same one from my green palette from the Blood Money. It looks white, but I don't know how he does it. I don't know what formula he uses. It's freaking magic, let me tell you that much. The white shade in this palette is white, and look how beautiful it came out. It was like a nice beautiful orange. In the green palette it looked white, but it came out like a beautiful green. I love that. Like, I love whatever he's doing. I love that formula. I think it's just so different. It's so cute, and it's definitely in right now. Especially if you like shimmers, you're gonna love his formula. It's just great. Obviously you guys can tell the difference between all his palettes. This one's like a little cute purse. It has this really cute gold thing in here that you just like turn it around and it opens the palette. I love the way this palette looks. I just feel like it looks so different, and I love different. I love, like, I don't like repetitive things. Like, I feel like with his palettes you just never know what you're gonna get, and I love that. All right, Jules, I'm gonna let y'all see how I created this look, but before you leave, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, comment down below, turn notifications on so you never miss my videos. Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, also follow Impeccablygraced. I'm gonna put them right here. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start priming my eyes with the GOAT. Yeah, I already know Urban Decay is my go-to all the time. So I actually bought a puffer brush, like, you know, those fat fluffy brushes. So I've been seeing a lot of people use that type of brush. I'm using this brush, which is Anastasia, but it's not good. So for my next video, y'all gonna see me use a brand new brush, and hopefully it makes a difference in my eyeshadow. Moving on to the star of the show, which is my Pricked palette. Oh my god, are y'all looking at the shades? Like, these shades are so beautiful. They're not too bright, they're not too dark. I feel like you can make so many looks. That black one right there, oh my god, to die for. But I'm definitely going to use more shades in the future whenever I do create more looks with my Pricked palette, so stay tuned for that. First shade I'm going to go in with is Cutting Edge, which is a very light orange. Like, you guys can tell a little bit. It looks more natural, like more filterish, I guess you would say. I really like this shade, and I'm definitely using this as my transition shade because I do want to go a little orange, and I just feel like this is such a nice soft tone for my next shade. The next shade I'm gonna go in with is Papaya Latex. So it's a more orangey kind of shade, not too dark though. Like, it looks a little bright on the palette, but it's not. Like, it's a nice softer, not too soft, I don't know how to explain it. It's just not that bright of an orange. Like, you guys can see it's a little in the darker tone, not as bright. So I just thought it was really cute, and I just wanted to apply this because I do want to make it a little bit darker, but I just want to work my way up, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to apply it, and girl, did it apply so beautifully. It was so easy to blend. The shade is so beautiful. It's so rich and so buttery. Like, you guys can see how amazing this looks, and I only did like 2 times. I only dipped my brush in the palette like 2 times. So that's not bad. But you already know Jeffree be always going in with all his palettes, and his shades just be so good. Now I'm gonna go in with Orange Fatale, and this one is actually a little bit more intense. It's a more intense orange, but when you apply it together, it just looks so beautiful. I love how it looks so orange. It looks so fallish, and that's exactly what I want. So when I applied it together, you guys can see that one's lighter than the other, and that's because they both blend so good together. Also guys, remember that even though for me it was this type of orange that I blended out together, for you it could look different. It's all about how much you blend and how much pigment you put. So if you wanted something a little bit lighter, you know,
you probably don't have to go in with too much orange, or you just probably have to blend it out even more. So just remember those tips. Now I'm gonna go in with Double Cross, which has that little cute Scorpio on his palette. So I believe that he is a Scorpion. His birthday's like in November or something like that. But anyway, so this shade looks brown, but it's actually not brown. They're all types of oranges, obviously. But like, I really thought this was a brown, but it's actually like a burnt orange, like a very darker orange, but not brown. So like, you guys can see, it looks dark. It's just not looking brown at all. So that's not what I wanted, but I did like how it came out. So I just let it, you know, I just went with it. And honestly, every time I want to do something, I never do what I really want to do. So I was like, whatever, let me just go with the flow. And I liked it. All right, now I'm going to cut my crease. I'm using my Kylie concealer to cut my crease. And I don't know if you guys remember from my last video, but I said always start low and then work your way up. So that's what I did. I'm just starting low and then I'm working my way up to make sure that I have the height that I want for my crease. Also, this is not the same brush that I use for my other ones. This is actually a round brush, and I feel like it just made the process a lot easier, and I do like it. So I've been seeing a lot of people use the round brushes, and I always use the angle brush, but now that I like the way that this looks, I'm definitely gonna always use my round brush. Now that I'm done cutting my crease, I'm going to go back in with Double Cross, and I'm going to put it in the ends of my cut crease, so like in the edges, and just blend that together, and it's just looking so freaking good. And that's exactly what I wanted, something blended, but like I wanted to not look too dark, you know, like blended enough to the point that it doesn't look like a straight line. So that's always like tricky in my part, but I think I got the hang of it and I'm loving the way it looks. Moving on to the next shade, I'm going to go in with Vitamin C Word. So I thought this orange was going to be a little bit brighter. I thought it was going to be like a yellow orange, but it wasn't as bright. I wanted something, you know, a little bit more to pop out, but it was a very pretty shade, so you know, I was okay with it. And whenever I blended that with the brown, well, with the orange brown, it just looked so pretty. So I wanted to keep it matte and I wanted to keep it smooth. So I was debating if I should put shimmer or glitter, because yeah, I know me, I always add either or to every of my look. But I just thought for fall, you know, it's more matte, it's more warmth. Whenever I think about fall, I think about matte, I think about orange, I think about red, I think about browns, and they really do complement each other. So I was okay with the fact that it wasn't as bright. Maybe if it was brighter, it probably wouldn't even look good. So I was okay with it at this point, but it was really cute, and the blending was super smooth. And here I'm just gonna blend Double Cross and that yellow orange, and I'm just gonna make sure it looks nice and even. Now that I'm done with my eyes, I'm gonna get a wipey and I'm just gonna clean up any extra pigment that, you know, fell. And I'm also gonna use this time to actually sharpen my eyeshadow. So I like to grab the wipey and I just like to drag it all the way to the top, which gives me that eyeliner effect. Moving on to lashes, I'm going to curl my lashes and I'm going to use my Morphe mascara. It's a new one. They just came out with it. They do have a primer. I don't own the primer, but I do own the mascara and it's really cute. I love it. It gave me some extra volume, and that's exactly what I like to do before I apply my lashes. Now I'm going to use my Impeccablygraced lashes, and I don't know the name of the style or anything like that, so I'm sorry, but I will put their Instagram here, so you could definitely go check them out. She has a lot of styles. She has her own website, so yeah, you can go on their website or Instagram and just see which styles you like, and they're so affordable, they're so comfortable, and I just love them. People are always asking me to do a video applying lashes. I never do because it takes me forever, but I kind of shorten it so you guys can get a hint of how I do it. I use the dual lash glue, and yeah, it takes me a couple tries, but eventually they stick on. Now that we're officially done with the eyes, I'm going to move on to my face. So I'm going to use my face primer from Milk Hydro Grip, and you guys know I really do enjoy this primer. I feel like it makes my foundation stick a little bit more. Also, I've seen some people use a beauty blender to apply their primer. I use my brush, but comment down below and let me know if you guys use a beauty blender. I might do that on my next video. For foundation, I'm going to use my Huda Beauty foundation in the shade Latte 300, and I really need to buy another one because this one's running low. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite foundations. I did use Tarte before this, But I don't know, something about this foundation, it just leaves it so filter-like. And it's funny because that's actually the name that she uses for whenever she talks about her foundation. She calls it her filter-like foundation. And it really does give you like a filter-like foundation. Like it really looks smooth. It just looks fake. Like it just looks like it blurs everything out of your face. And it just leaves like a beautiful filtered face. I'm obsessed with this foundation. For concealer today, I'm going to use my Kylie concealer, which is the one I'm applying now. And then I'm going to use my e.l.f. concealer, which is amazing. I really don't even know why I even bother with Kylie. Like, when I was blending this out, it was looking okay. But guys, it was looking so patchy. Like, I really had to fix it so much right after this. Like, I wasn't going to show you guys because we'll be here forever. But it was looking a little, you know, so I had to, like, really blend it. I had to, like, mix a little bit of my e.l.f., my NARS. Like, I just had to do something because it just wasn't looking right. So I think for now on, I'm probably just going to use my Kylie for my cut crease. And I'm just going to buy the Revolution one because I'm tired of fixing Kylie's mistake. Now I'm using my Fenty Beauty cream bronzer in the shade Macchiato, and I do like this brush whenever I apply my cream bronzer. I've had this brush for years. I bought it, I remember, in Forever 21 online like years ago, guys, like probably like 5 years ago, and I never really used it. And now that I'm using it, I'm like so obsessed with it because it just makes blending so much easier. Now moving on to baking my face, I'm going to use my Huda Beauty baking powder in the shade Banana Bread, and I'm using this new sponge. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I always have extra sponges, extra anything. So I just decided to use this one today because my little ones that I use, my triangle ones, they're already beat up. So I wanted something new, and I totally forgot I had this sponge, and I just love the fact that it's like so angled, and it's just perfect because it's a beauty blender, but it's also angled. So you could use it for many other things. You could use the round side of the sponge to apply some foundation, and you can use the flat side of the sponge or the angled side of the sponge to apply powders, and it's so convenient for us to use. Now on top of my cream bronzer, I'm going to go in with some powder bronzer from NARS in the shade Laguna. And this is actually a foundation brush, but I feel like it just applies it easier with this brush. So I do like this brush a lot. And you know, I just like having some color, so I'm applying just a little bit. Now that I'm done baking my face, I'm going to move on to setting my face, and I'm going to go in with my Sephora Microsmooth Foundation Powder just to set everything up. And do you guys see how smooth my face is looking? Like, this powder is so good. I wonder how it would look alone. I never applied alone, but I'm definitely going to see how it applies alone, because if it looks as great, then I don't have to always have foundation on my face. So now for this step, I was supposed to do this before I was baking or during baking, but I totally forgot. But anyway, I'm using double cross on the bottom just so that it can give me that more intense look. Now I'm going to go in with one of my favorite shades, and it's called Pale in Comparison. And this formula, this shade is just to die for. Like, y'all already saw how white that looked. And look, it just looks so orangey and so beautiful, and I'm just obsessed with it. For blush, I'm going to go in with my Tarte blush in the shade Partyyy. I always use this blush. I need to get a new one because I'm already getting tired of using this blush. But it is pretty. So if you guys recommend any pretty soft pinks, comment down below and I'll go check it out. For my lip liner, I'm actually using the same brand from my lashes. She does lashes and lipsticks and lip glosses and lip liners. And this shade is called Cocoa, and I think it's so cute. It's so rich. And my liquid lipstick is also from Impeccablygraced, and this is the shade Sexy, and it's just so pretty, and it's matte, but it goes on glossy at first and then it turns matte. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put in the middle of my lips, I'm going to put one of her other shades named Ritzy, and I love the light brown and the dark brown combined. It just looks like a beautiful matte ombre lipstick, and I love it. Now I'm using my new Jaclyn Hill liquid highlighter in the shade High Gleams, and do you guys see this? Oh my god, it's so freaking blinding. Like, Anastasia, I love you, but you got real competition now, girl. Lastly, I'm gonna set my face with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Ultra Fine Mist, and we are done for today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Before you leave, please subscribe. Please follow my Instagram. Please follow Impeccablygraced. They're amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.